The Madaraka Express, the biggest, largest infrastructural project in the history of the Republic of Kenya, is turning into a nightmare. People like leading Kenyan economist David Ndii has never lost an opportunity to warn us that this thing is not viable. Since 2014, Bwana Ndii has been telling us this thing is not financially viable, it's not economically viable, it's not socially viable. Now, what is quite scary is the fact that what Ndii told us is projections. As we have gotten more facts, it seems that actually he underplayed things. Yeah, the things are actually much worse than what he was telling us they are. Now, before we even go into the financials and the economics, yeah, there's even something which is more alarming. Yeah, more alarming because it involves citizens, yeah, wananchi, people who belong to the Republic of Kenya, Kenyans. It is now emerging, wait for this one, that workers at the SGR, yeah, were actually being caned when they make a mistake. Kiboko. Corporal punishment was being used on Kenyan workers. What? Now this is just crazy. Yeah, we know the Chinese don't know much English, so you can imagine a situation whereby this supervisor from China, yeah, stands above everybody else and says there's a mistake which has been made. And because of this mistake, those who are responsible, Kenyan workers, must face the music. And the music is lashes. And so he says something like, ching chong 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 ching chong chong. So the translator says, amesema mmefanya makosa, mulale chini mchape viboko. Now these ordinary Kenyans who want to earn a living. Yeah, they have maybe families, they have people to support. Yeah, but they need to confirm what they've heard. Ati amesema nini? Amesema mulale chini mchape viboko. Ching chong chong chi chong chong. Amesema kila mtu viboko sita sita. This is not happening. Now, I've laughed because I don't want to cry. Yeah, because I think most of you are aware that corporal punishment is not legal in Kenyan schools. So our kids do not receive corporal punishment according to the laid down laws of the land. However, here is a case where their fathers are receiving corporal punishment from foreigners. Sasa hizi viboko ni za nini? Ching chong 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 chi chong 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 chi. Anasema mulijaribu kuingia gari ambayo Wachina walikuwa wameingia. Lakini hiyo gari ilikuwa tu na mtu mmoja, kulikuwa nafasi nyingi. Ching chong chong chi chong 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 chi. Anasema kisheria haifai muingie hizo gari. Hiyo gari ni Wachina peke yake. Yeah, I kid you not. That is exactly what's happening at the SGR. Now, ordinarily, in any country, dictatorship or democracy or whatever, what would have happened after this incident was brought to light is that a number of Chinese people would have been on the earliest flights out of the country, deported. However, being Kenya, the way we operate in Kenya is that we deport our own locals, yeah, who have dual citizenships. Those are deported very quickly. But foreigners, apana, they will not be deported, especially if they have nothing to do with politics. How sad. Now, let us also be a bit realistic and fair to the government. What has happened in this case is that the government is in deep loans to the Chinese. So when you start upsetting the apple cart, things could get worse financially. And they're already quite bad because we are paying the Chinese 1 billion Kenya shillings every month to run the SGR. As I speak, the SGR trains are not being driven by local Kenyan drivers. They are being run by the Chinese. The guys driving those things are all Chinese. Yes, of course, there's some local African Kenyan drivers trained, but they're for cosmetic purposes. Yeah, their work is just to sit and watch. Same with the other departments. So what is happening actually here is that we borrowed money from the Chinese to build the SGR. We are paying them interest. We are creating employment for the Chinese. Yeah. And then you'd think they'd be thankful, but they're actually caning our people, mistreating our people. Folks, the new colonial masters have arrived. And the most painful thing about it is that we already have local colonial masters. So it seems Kenyans will have to deal with both local and foreign colonial masters. Our great-grandfathers were much better off because they had only one colonial master, the British. Now, a few smart members of the Club 1999 have been able to lay bare exactly what this Chinese plot is all about, not only in Kenya, but in a lot of African and even Caribbean countries. The Chinese have rushed to Africa with the money, yeah, and it seems this money is working, and current governments are not very concerned about the long-term effects because they know that the people who will bear the brunt, yeah, the heaviest burden of repaying these heavy loans are future generations, which will come when they're already out of power and they're long gone. In other words, our children and our children's children. Now, a friend was recently traveling from the Rift Valley, and they used the SGR from Nairobi to Mombasa. They said it was very comfortable, very convenient, very fast, and they were grateful for it. So, while Kenyans enjoy benefits of the SGR, yeah, we cannot ignore the fact that our fellow Kenyans are being caned. We cannot ignore the fact that this thing is a huge financial burden on the Kenyan taxpayer. And it will become more so in the years to come. Now, even more painful is the fact that it is no secret that the SGR project is the perfect corruption big project where some Kenyans have made an absolute fortune. Yeah, because the numbers don't add up. Yeah, the costs, they just don't add up. Our neighbors are constructing better railways at a fraction of the cost. So, in other words, as a taxpayer, we are not only paying the Chinese and the hefty interest rates, we are also paying locals to become rich. Oh boy. Now, I just hope that even as I sign off this video, that the following incident is not happening at the SGR right now. Ching chong chong chi chong chong chi. Anasema nyinyi ndio mliongea na watu wa magazeti wakatoa zile siri za hapa. Kwa hivyo mlale chini. Ching chong chong chi chong 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 chi. Hii ni very serious offense. Kwa hivyo kila mtu viboko 12. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.
Kenya inchi yangu, Kenya